So the integrated approach is what we really, really want to focus on. Now, for those of you that haven't met me, my name's Rory Callaghan, and I've been involved with Bfree for the last 2.5, 3 years. And I started collaborating with this nutritional cleansing system and with isogenics probably about 2.5 years ago. And I guess if it's okay with you, I'll just quickly share, why I'm here and who I am, so that you can get a bit of a feel for who you're chatting with. And I guess probably the key thing for me is my background is as a physiotherapist, and I worked with everything from people with chronic pain to elite performance. But this program really interested me because I got to a point where I actually lost my health, and I was quite run down. I had no energy, and I had a lot of gut issues, and I was a health professional with all the available networks, and I started falling into, the medication side of things, and, that helped a little bit. Then I fell into nutrition, and I started to, get around things like aloe vera and alkalizing the body and plant-based foods, and getting to know my farmers markets. And I grew up in Fremantle in Western Australia, and that's like the hippie central. So we had access to a lot of that stuff. So when this was put in front of me, and also working with elite athletes, I'd seen them use a lot of synthetic proteins and supplements and vitamins and things like that. So I was very aware and conscious. But after about 9 months of looking into this, I had my health ego on, and I just put that aside because I looked into the program enough and got onto webinars and stuff like this and got educated. And eventually, Peter Kelly introduced me to the program, and she said, just give it a crack. And I thought there's nothing to lose, so I just did it. And realistically, within 2 weeks, I noticed a massive shift in my body. And as you can see in the photo on the top left, that was my first 30 days. So I didn't actually start to lose any weight. I just wanted to get rid of that gut discomfort. I wanted to regain some energy. And I just started to notice in the first couple of weeks, little things started to happen. Like I started to wake up before my alarm clock. Usually I was needing 4 or 5 coffees to get through the day. But then I was plugging through to 10 o'clock after, 12 or 16-hour days as a physio, seeing 20, 30 odd clients, and I still had energy. And then I was sleeping for about 6 hours and waking up rejuvenated. So I'm not sure if that relates to you, but that might be something that you're looking for. I don't have a big weight loss story. I put on 5 kilos of muscle mass, but that's sort of the aftermath of just maintaining healthy eating and a bit of exercise. And I guess that's what we promote. The cool thing about when I started is 2 of my best buddies started with me, Glenn and Tully. And Tully's a fellow physio, and he knows that I'm very evidence-based with what I do. I'm very critical. So he just goes, mate, if you've had a big shift with it, I'll give it a crack. And he's one of those guys, from like 0 to 100%, if 100% is, as fit or as healthy as he can be, he's probably about 90%. So he didn't have too many issues. But to notice him see a change, not only in his sleep and his energy, but then also to go on to impact his mum and his brother and people in his family, we really started to step back and look at this as a tool. And whilst we're doing this, my mate Glenn, he lost about 10 kilos in the first month. And he was my buddy that, was looking for a health solution for so long. And, he'd be the guy that comes home from the clubs at 6 a.m. So we started to see the scope of what this could do as a tool in our belt. And then we saw the ability of people to be able to share it between each other. So have that peer-to-peer impact, because it was just food. You didn't have to have a degree to share or anything like that. And 2.5 years down the track, we've got a community of over nearly 10,000 people, I think, in my community that have utilised the program, and 80% of them just use it for the products, and the other 20% go on and help more people. So hopefully there's something in that for you. And I just want to be as authentic and honest as I can with this, because I've seen a lot of programs, a lot of systems. I've looked through a lot of stuff, and the reason I'm here tonight is because it worked really well for me, and it's worked for a lot of people. So it's just something I'm happy to recommend. Like a good cafe or a good coffee, I'm happy to talk about it. And the aim of tonight is that you just get informed and educated. And if it's something that you want to give a go and you just want to get into it and give it a crack, then I highly recommend just get into it. So this is a key thing. I just want to get on the same page with nutrition, because there's so much stuff out there, right? But through my own journey, I learned that, obviously at the base of this is do no harm. So keep out the bad stuff, the processed packaged foods, the sugars, the GMO, all that type of stuff. Now, a lot of that stuff never used to bother me, but because my guts were so inflamed, I was all of a sudden intolerant to like lactose and to milk and then wheat and all these things. I used to be able to eat 10 Weet Bix as a kid without an issue. But all of a sudden, as I became more unwell and more chronically, more sort of upset in my stomach, I started to notice I was intolerant to things I was already tolerant to. So a big part of this program is the only thing you have to do is be conscious of keeping the bad stuff out. And then the next thing is about really settling your gut health, because it's not what we eat, it's what we absorb. And I was around a lot of Frio hippies, and they were eating organic. We were going to the farmers markets, but they still had the same issues that I had with lack of energy and things like that. And also the muscle mass and things. So just consider that, there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle. The next thing is obviously helping your body detoxify. We do it naturally every day through our pancreas, our kidney, and our livers. But we also know the benefits of like intermittent fasting and Chinese medicine, which aids that process. So that's a big key component. So if you keep the bad stuff out, get your gut health right, and then help your body detoxify, then all you have to do is nutrient saturate your body with everything you need. Now, you've probably seen 1,000 diets that cut carbs, cut fats, left, right, and center. The truth of the matter is your body needs every single building block to function. And the biggest ones we're missing are the vitamins, the minerals, the trace minerals, all the stuff that's in the soil, which then goes into the plants, into the animals, which we then eat. So a lot of that stuff is missing. So the aim of this program isn't to replace food as such, it's to complement your whole food eating and just fill in the missing gaps. And hopefully that gives you a bit of an overview of it and gives you an idea about how you can nutrient saturate your body. And again, it's only part of the puzzle, but it is a very big piece of the puzzle. Now, coming back to what we're made of, obviously the aim of the program is to match your body building block for building block. You then eat as clean as you know, and what we're going to do is talk about a solution that can fill in those gaps for you. So Bfree is just a community of people like you and me, a lot of people on this webinar, and we just believe in this, very integrated and collaborative healthcare model. We look for vehicles that, people can share with each other. And we came across Isagenix, and they really aligned with our values and who we were and what we wanted to do. So naturally it became a vehicle that we started using to help ourselves, but then also help other people. So that just gives you a bit of a scope of how that fits in. What I want to do now, before I introduce a couple of stories, is we've just got about a 10-minute video here. And what it does is it introduces the company and who they are. Because, again, if you're going to use the products, you probably want to know who they are and what's behind it and what's their reasoning and things like that. It just gives you a lot more belief in what you're consuming as well. So I'm going to play this video. If you can just give me a thumbs up and let me know if the volume works.
We are on a mission to get this planet healthy.
You're in control of your own future.
It was just like a light switch flipped on the inside.
Okay, so first off, thank you for pressing play. My name's Eric, and a friend may have sent this to you or invited you to their home to watch this, and you may actually be watching this just to get that person off your back. Or maybe you accidentally press play while flipping through Facebook. Or in a perfect world for us, you're just here to get educated about the real truth about Isagenix. But hey, you're here, so you may as well check us out. There's a lot of energy and buzz around Isagenix right now, and it's because we have so many people joining every single day. But it's important that you don't just join because of the hype or because everybody else is doing it. It's important that you get educated and really figure out, can this really be a solution for you? I mean, can this really work? Because this is not for everybody, but it is for people who are ready to change, people who are ready to get healthier, people who are ready to lose some weight, put on some lean muscle mass, and just start to feel younger and maybe earn some extra income. And if that's not you, then that's okay. But if it is, then you're in the right place.
Before Isagenix, I was just exhausted. I'd actually quit working. I just was too tired. I was too stressed out. And so I really lost a piece of me at that time. I was stuck in a home, in a body, in a lifestyle that I just wasn't fitting me. And I just was screaming from the inside, for somebody to help me. I was actually introduced to Isagenix by my friend Barbara Price, and she just randomly called me and was like, Trisha, I'm following you on Facebook. I can tell that life is not going so hot for you. And I think I have something for you. And my ears, my heart, everything just opened up. Before I even got off the phone, I knew I was going to start. 5 days into the product, a light turned on inside me. I felt so incredible. But the best part was I was in the kitchen cleaning and a song came on that I love, and I found myself dancing. And then a few minutes later, my kids ran into the kitchen, and normally I'd be like, get out. And I started chasing them. We ran outside, and we were just running around and playing, jumping off things, and I realized I was playing with my kids for the first time in a really, really long time. They were getting their mom back.
We are one of the fastest growing companies in the world because we offer lifestyle solutions that really work. Our society is unhealthy. Obesity is rising, and it's because we are bombarded with high calorie, empty, toxic nutrition every day. These poor eating habits just equate to sick, unhealthy people, and that's just dangerous for our world. This is how Isagenix can help. Now, we could go on and on and on about how we have no compromise products that are sourced from the best possible places on earth and put together by a team of scientists who are always on the leading edge of what's out there. But the only way that you're actually going to go from one of those skeptics into a big believer is if you put the products in your body and let your body tell you if they work or not.
Love the products. Being a former professional athlete, I'm a product guy. So I got right on the program, 30-day fat burning system. I felt great. And even at the age of 50, I was able to do the things I wanted to do from a workout standpoint. I have a big family. I have 8 children. And right away, I introduced the product line to our family. They all love the shakes. I cannot keep the strawberry shake in the house. And so it's nice to know that, you're giving your children good nutrition.
The reason why we have continued to grow and expand since 2002 is because our products produce results, both visually and emotionally. That's why nutritionists, medical professionals, professional athletes, and just ordinary people are being attracted to Isagenix. One of the best parts of what we got going on is our support, our coaching, and our community that people can plug into, like our Healthy Mind and Body program that helps people stay motivated to reach their goals. Now, another cool thing is our ISA Body Challenge, which is something that we offer that's a 16-week health transformation challenge where you want to take your before picture, but the real key is you want to look as sad as possible. Stick your gut out, frown your face, slump your shoulders, and then go on the Isagenix products, take your after picture. At the end of the 16 weeks, you write a little story about how your life has changed. This is by far one of the most incredibly moving things that we do every single year. I mean, the thousands of stories of transformation that come in are remarkable.
When I got in Isagenix, I was all in. And I had 16 weeks to get ready for this bodybuilding show. Just so happened the ISA Body Challenge is 16 weeks. So I said, why not? I'm just going to submit my photos. We'll see what happens. I really wanted to put this system to the test. So this is my 16-week transformation. This was me getting ready for a national level men's physique show in Chicago. Got a call a couple months later, and it was from Eric congratulating me on being an ISA Body finalist, and I couldn't believe it. That experience alone just opened up so many opportunities and so many doors for me. I took my Will-Powered program that I have as my personal business, and I combined those strategies with Isagenix at the same time. It was just phenomenal. Like, my dad's in better shape now at 55 than he ever has been. He lost like 35 pounds and he gained 8 pounds of lean muscle. It was just shocking results.
You can see that our products work. And when you have a positive experience with products that work, it's so natural to share your results with other people. And we already do this with things that we love. This is why Isagenix has chosen the business model of network marketing, which is kind of like word of mouth marketing. The best things in life are shared by people talking to people. So Isagenix will actually pay you and say thank you for sharing these products with other people and helping us impact more lives. And this solution, the need for more money, is huge, because the 2 limiting factors for people who don't live the life that they want is they don't have enough time and they don't have enough money. And Isagenix is a vehicle to help you create more of both. I mean, just think about what some more time and what some more money would do in your life. You could start traveling more, give back, spend more time at home with your kids, and just doing the things that you love.
Network marketing is a vehicle. It's the beginning of living life however you want to live it. It is, it's the greatest profession that's ever hit our generation, and it is one that really is, it's the beginning. But my family, they're so incredibly supportive, and you know, at first when I started, they didn't quite understand, but as soon as they saw the transformation in me, they were all in. Network marketing is a platform for personal excellence in all areas of your life. So building a business requires you to develop into a leader, to develop into your most authentic self, to develop into someone who really lives for others. What success in this business means is not just the freedom to feel how you want to feel, but the freedom to just live a life which is for others, because you are taking care of yourself. My mom is my hero. I love her so much, and she was the reason that I really went for it in this business, because you know, one of my biggest dreams was to retire her. And with Isogenics, just last year she retired from her 39-year hardcore career as a fabulous educator of our children.
Now, what you put into this is what you're going to get out of it. This is not some get-rich-quick scheme that happens overnight. You know, this requires work and dedication, just like anything else that's worthwhile. But it is so worth it. You can start small just by sharing with a few friends and get your products paid for, because real wellness is when you can actually afford your health. And if you really want to build a great income, then you can. And like many people, which they love, in Isogenics, you can start earning money in the pockets of your life.
Thank God for Isogenics, because our son, AJ, was born on the autism spectrum. With the income that Chris and I are making from Isogenics, we can afford to give him the help he needs. And my message for anyone watching this who thinks they don't have the time, if your child's future depends on it, you will make the time.
I'd always wanted to make a difference in the world, and I never knew how. So I guess it's a business, but it's just something like I have to share with people. I'm compelled to share. If you make the decision to do it and stick with it. It's not an overnight thing.
Now, I'd like to introduce you to two people who introduced me to Isogenics, who happen to be my parents, the co-founders, Jim and Kathy Cooper.
We started Isogenics to create a company that did it right, that was all about the people, that put its people first, and that people could count on something for the rest of their life.
And we wanted to impact world health because there's a lot of people suffering out there, and we have an answer to address those problems.
People call me all the time and tell me how their lives have been changed. And that's what gets me up in the morning. When I hear the moms that are able to stay home with their children, the families that are, able to pay their car payments, their house payments, that are creating freedom for their families.
And the way we measure growth is by how many more people are benefiting from our products, because we know that they're life-changing and life-transforming.
In the health and wellness industry right now, people are looking for solutions. They're looking for more energy. They're looking for more endurance. They're looking for healthy aging, and they're looking to keep their bodies in great shape. So, we are leading the pack. We truly are.
This is an exciting time because the whole world needs what we have, and we're just having so much fun sharing it and building our Isogenics future together.
My job is to find out what are the needs of the individuals that I'm talking to. Weight loss, energy, performance, healthy aging, wealth creation. But the key is we have to ask the right questions and then point them in the right direction when we know which solution is good for them.
Isogenics is not for everyone, but it is for a lot of people. It's for people who can recognize a great opportunity. It's for people who really are ready to amplify their life, whether it's physically, financially, as a leader. It's for people who love being part of an incredible, positive, supportive community.
Every event is a celebration of what we're doing and of this huge global movement that we have. And we're on a similar mission, and that's really exciting.
It's a train that can't be stopped because somebody's going to get results and they're going to tell people and they're going to get results and you can't stop it if the product works. It works very, very well. You're actually helping people get healthier.
So hopefully you now have a better idea of what Isogenics is all about. We realize you may want to change something in your life, but you just may not be ready. But if you're somebody that is ready, we've got a real solution here. And if you want to learn more about all the stats and the studies and the ingredients, that's awesome because we have all the details that you want by going to isoproduct.com. If you also want to learn about how you can earn an income, we have the systems in place with isogenicsbusiness.com to help get you started. So you don't have to feel like you go out and reinvent the wheel. But if you're the person who's ready to start now, like today, the person who directed you to this video can get you started right away so you can get plugged into the Isogenics family. Thank you so much for watching this, and I cannot wait to meet you at an event.
So hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea about, who the company are, like just from a person-to-person basis. I think, sometimes we can watch that and it can bring up more questions. But what I want you to do is just sit back with that for a second and just think of, 2 or 3 things that really resonated with you. And also if any questions popped up, just have them in the back of your mind, and hopefully one of the stories or one of the experiences that some of the crew in Bfree have had might be able to answer that for you. So I guess the way we're looking at really addressing this nutritional paradigm is really, supporting people in an environment where they can make healthy behaviors, and they can learn how to eat well, and they can learn how to match the nutrition to their body. But the simplicity of it is all the science and research is done, and you can add this system in to complement what you're already doing, and then you can get the change. So it's not an instead of thing, but it's very complementary. So again, like they said there, if you want to figure out the ins and outs of the products and all that type of stuff, do what I did. I just went to isoproductau.com. It's all very transparent. You can go up into the right-hand column and see what plant-based ingredients are in it. Even go as far as where is it sourced from. So if that's something that was big for you, that was big for me as well. Also the sciencey side of things, being a health professional, I needed to know that other health professionals are utilizing it. I need to know that it was backed not only by their own research, but third party and independent research, which they've gone above and beyond. They've basically given their program to, say the Heart Healthy Diet, which is a $2 billion program in America, which is aimed to help people lose weight and be healthier. And they trialed it apple for apple. And they got about 50% better results in weight loss, in energy, in reduction of visceral fat, and all these type of things. So they're out there doing that. And I guess what I can do now is just give you a quick rundown of what the program is so that you have a bit of an idea. But basically we talked about the foundation was gut health, right? So IsoFlush, the little yellow cap down there, it's got everything from aloe vera, bentonite clay, all these things that I was using before I actually started the program to help my gut health. So that was already part of it, and that was something that really attracted me to it. Then cleansing and detoxification, you want to get the bad stuff out. So we've all been eating certain foods, living in particular environments, the stress, internal, external, call it toxicity, call it things that just shouldn't be in our body, but our body's naturally detoxifying them, and adding in intermittent fasting with cleansing, which is on the bottom right, which is just basically Chinese medicine, herbs and botanicals, things like turmeric, ashwagandha, burdock root, peppermint, things that actually just aid that process. So it makes it a little bit easier. So you're settling your gut health, you're getting the bad stuff out, and then what you're doing is you're nutrient saturating and alkalizing your body. So the shakes this is something that really attracted me to the program, is I knew that the best protein in the world came from New Zealand because they didn't use any hormones, they don't use any antibiotics, it's in their actual government legislation. So when I saw they were sourcing it from there, and Koch-Callaghan was a guy that was, he's one of the leading researchers in protein, he was a guy that put together the protein. I was really, really impressed. But also in there, they've added things like digestive enzymes, your pre and probiotics, which are the things we get with Inner Health Plus and all that type of stuff. It's all in there. The next big thing is Ionics, which is on the right. It's a tall bottle. Basically, that's like your little stress tonic. So adrenal fatigue, 21st century syndrome. So many people are tired. So many people are napping during the day. So many people can't sleep at night. And it's because their body's going like this. So again, the Chinese found out about adaptogens centuries ago, but basically there's 9 or 10 herbs and botanicals that actually help your body adapt to stress. So they've found them, source them, and then put that in a tonic that you can have every single day. And then I guess the other piece is we talked about that big picture of nutrition was all the little spark plugs, the vitamins and minerals. John Anderson, who put the program together, put all the ionic trace minerals and everything through all the products. So you're getting that from everywhere. And I guess what they've added in is like your multivitamin. They've got ageless actives, which is all the stuff you need for joint health. It's got resveratrol for heart health. You need about 150 glasses of red wine to get the equivalent resveratrol in one capsule. So that would probably put a lot more load on your kidneys and other stuff as well. So you're getting the nutrient saturation in a very easy and sensible way. probably the last pillar is product B. So healthy aging is a key component as well. Like, we want to settle gut health. We want to get the bad stuff out. We want to nutrient saturate, but then we also want to promote healthy cells, not just for now, but for long term. So product B actually won a Nobel Prize for the first step in anti-aging. It's got this thing called telomere support. Dr. Bill Andrews, who runs Sierra Sciences, he could have had that as a standalone product, but he knew that it would work better in a body that had good gut health, where they were naturally detoxifying, where they had the healthy behaviors, active lifestyles. He knew that they would have a better effort. So he chose to collaborate with Isagenix in the same way that Michael Colgan has, and the same way that 27 of the world's leading nutritional scientists with about, I think it's about 500 years of clinical experience. That's actually in the field. It's not just sitting behind a computer learning about it. It's actually being out there and doing it. So they've all come together and put together a system that you can add into your body. So hopefully that gives you a really simple rundown of what it is. The key, I guess, is that it's just food. So it's not diagnosed to diagnose, prevent, or cure anything. You feed your body what it needs, and it does what it's meant to do. Combine it with an active, healthy lifestyle and good whole food eating, and you can really optimize this program. And it just gives access to all that knowledge to everyday people. Now, I'm going to see, Zoe, if you're on, could you just unmute yourself? I'm going to get you to share your story in a sec. But Zoe's got a great example about, weight loss isn't just about the guys that lose 50 kilos or the women that lose the 20. Sometimes it's just that little bit of tummy fat, that, the muffin top or whatever you want to call it. So Zoe, if you're there, just take yourself off mute. I know you've been trying to get on. You're in Sydney, but just let me know if you're there. If not, I'll plug into Aaron, who's next. So Zoe's a pharmacist and a TV presenter as well. So I'll send her a message. I'll see if she's here, but she should be on in a minute or two. She's just struggling to get on. The next part of the program as well is energy and performance. And this is a really big one, because this nutrition isn't just about weight loss. We're spending so much money on, I think it was $586 billion in weight loss. We're spending $75 billion on gyms. And how many people have never actually used a gym membership? I think it's about 90 to 95% in USA. It'd probably be very similar in Australia. So what we've got on tonight is we've got Aaron, who's a good mate of mine, a construction worker, who utilised a program not only to shred down a little bit, but then in his first 90 days he put on about 6 kilos, and then he kept on doing that and took it into some training with Tony Attridge, and he's actually gone further. So Aaron, if you're there, mate, can you just take yourself off mute and feel free to share your story with the guys.
Can you hear me, mate?
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. I guess something you mentioned earlier before was having the pre and probiotics in the team, and that was a huge one for me. I know I'm getting my fiber hit as well when I use Isagenix. Big one for me. I've been using proteins and supplements and kind of getting sucked into a lot of that stuff now for years. I've been, and to be honest, with it. I always carried that bit of visual fat and always a bit of gut. And can you still hear me?
Yeah, you're dropping in and out a bit, mate. I know you're in Bali, but it's not too bad. I think they can get the gist of it.
Okay. So what I was saying was basically the gut issues I suffered from using every protein that was, that had the big muscly guy on the front of it. It just didn't have the quality in it that I can get now. And I got sucked into a lot of that stuff. And it wasn't until I started really noticing those small changes. And then obviously the whole system with getting the flush, the accelerator in there as well, and then the stress with the ionics. I just started seeing results. And like I still eat my usual amount of food, but this for me it's just something I can throw in there. I like to use a combination of the IsoPro with the Isoline Pro. So I can use the Isoline Pro as to get the extra meals through a day. I can use the Isoline as a direct isolate hit straight after the gym. Sometimes one before bed. So I've been more than happy with it. I've dropped my body percentage of fat. I was 20% fat, and now I haven't remeasured, but I think I'd be down to about 9 or 10 now, and that's been in the last 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, that's solid, man. And again, athletes eat more, and I guess that's a big key to the program. So if you do have an athlete, Aaron, you're eating about 7 meals a day, is that right?
Yeah, like it varies, but I have 2 or 3 shakes a day and 3 or 4 meals a day.
Yeah, and then you just add in your supplements in between. You still do a cleanse day every week?
I find now I do a cleanse day. I used to do them quite regularly, but I find I do them now when I have those issues. Like if ever I feel a bit sloppy, or I feel like, because I'm eating 7 meals a day, sometimes it's quite heavy on the body. And if those days where I'm feeling a bit bloated or I'm just not feeling right, I do a lot of half days. And but yeah, sometimes I'll just bang a double out and just really reset everything, and it's just a powerful tool to have. Yeah.
That's awesome. I guess for any athletes out there, for anyone that isn't looking at weight loss or anything like that, I hope Aaron's story really resonates with you, because you can really maximize your nutrition. And we talked with a young athlete today, and we talked about it the same way, and actually shared how Aaron was using the program, and he's really excited doing the same way. So cheers for that, Azza. I think Zoe's online now. Just jump off, take yourself off mute, Zoe, if you're there, and feel free to share your story. See if I can take her off. Oh, she's dropped out again. That's okay. What we'll do is I'll carry on to Deb, who's up next. So I guess a big thing about the program as well is being a physio, I want to know that, you know, if Olympic athletes can use it, then everyday athletes can use it as well. And because we can probably all agree that athletes who are in the Olympics are probably the most stringently tested through ASADA and things like that. So knowing that, say, Jana Pittman, as an example, use the same program to put on about 10 to 12 kilos of muscle mass like Aaron, so that she could go in the Winter Olympics in the bobsled, and then she used the same program to shred back down to 68 kilos and lose all of that and really tone up, so that then she could get back into running. And I think she's still going for the Olympics in, I think it's 2020. Also, Tony Attridge is the guy on the side. So he's trained a world champion in every single Olympics. He does a whole food eating program. He does a physical training, but every single one of his athletes has to use a program. And the reason is because he can't guarantee the results if he doesn't. He's tried everything else. He got voted the leading guy for weight loss and strength and conditioning in Australia just this year. So again, he's a guy that you'd probably be wanting to model his strategies. Now, I guess a lot of women can probably agree that we're putting a lot of stuff on our skin, and maybe a lot of men as well, to make ourselves look good from the outside in. But the truth is that, you know, our cellular health, the way we age is a reflection of what we look on the inside. So Deb is on the line. If you're there, Deb, are you okay just to share your story and how you went with the program?
Sure. So I'm 52. And in early 2013, I became quite ill, and I was sleeping 2 hours a day and just to teach one fitness class at night. I was eating healthy, exercising regularly, but just totally lacked energy. So that was pretty horrendous. My metabolism really slowed down, and I was suffering a lot from bloating and weight gain. And it really didn't matter what I did. I was just exhausted all the time. And most of my time was spent actually sleeping. And funnily enough, I did sleep during the night, but I was still sleeping during the day. So after I had a lot of tests, I was told my body was imbalanced and out of whack. So toxins coupled with, the change in life, ladies, had an effect on my body. So I was really blessed that my friend introduced me to the program, and within 3 days I was actually jumping out of my skin and had so much energy, and that has continued. My body really balanced itself naturally, and everyone can attest to it. I have this new lease on life. And for me, I've really coming back down to what I believe in, and I totally believe that when you put the right stuff in your body, the body takes care of the rest. So I know that I'll be on Isogenics for the rest of my life. So I'll say bring on the next 70 years.
That's it. You may as well live to 120 if you can, hey? No, I really appreciate that, Deb. And we'll plug away. Zoe's still trying to get on, but we'll carry on. So I guess the key thing is, a big thing that comes through, I know the big thing that came through my mind is like, well, how much does it cost, you know? So something that was really cool to look at is the average Australian, if you look in that bottom left-hand corner, spends about $3,500 on their health every single year. And most of it is spent on symptom relief stuff, so medical services. There needs to be a shift where we start investing in ourselves on healthy behaviours, and nutrition is such a big one that we can do. So just keep that in mind, that you're spending about $3,500, all your vitamins, your minerals, the gym memberships you don't use, all that type of stuff. And we'll have a chat about how the cost of the program as we go. So the easiest way to start is the first 30 days is you press a reset button. So everyone starts on the President's Pack, or at least a 30-day starter pack. And what that does is you eat as clean as you know. You add the program and the systems into what you're doing. If you want to do the program really properly, be really conscious of your behaviours. Treat it like a detox. You don't want to go drinking, every Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, and you don't want to keep eating processed and packaged food. Really be conscious of eating as clean as you know. Add the system in, follow the processes, and you can really maximise it. I've had a lot of guys that have actually done the program without changing behaviours, and they've still lost that 4 or 5 kilos, still noticed a big shift. So you can also just meet yourself where you're at if you just want to get it in your body. But I'd recommend, if you're going to spend the time and the money, that you do it properly and do the first 30 days with that mentality and that commitment. Then what you do after that is you just match the nutrition to your needs. So Aaron's a really good example of someone that, he did the program, he's probably eating 4 or 5 meals, then he's going to put on weight, and now he's matched his nutrition to his goals, which was to put on another 4 or 5 kilos, shred his body fat. Deb's program would be slightly different, but at the end of the day, our base building blocks are all the same, but you can meet your nutrition to where your body's at. So I guess the reason why Bfree aligns with Isagenix is their mission is to impact the world, impact world health, and also free people from physical and financial pain. So I think the beauty about this is they're actually doing it. They've launched into 14 countries now, and they've been the #1 word-of-mouth product in pretty much most countries. They're the #1 product in Australia in about 5 or 6 years, and we've just launched into Indonesia. So that's a really good sign for a word-of-mouth program. And there's some key values, like you probably saw in the video, but if it's not right for you, then they don't do it. They've got no compromised ingredients, because John Anderson created that way. He said, I'm only doing business with you guys, and you're going to help me get this out there as long as I can keep that value. And he's kept that throughout the last 14 years. And I guess the key thing as well is that, the program needs to be affordable. So they put in systems and processes to make sure that not only can you get your program paid for, but if, like me or Aaron or anyone else, you want to go and help more people, you can actually earn a secondary source of income. And that wasn't my thing to start with, but as I started doing it, it just naturally started to happen, and I gradually overtook my physio income. So I guess what you can see here is a big piece of the wellness puzzle is finances. So just for the guys that are talking or more thinking about that, I just want to have a chat about that side of things, because realistically, most marriages, and this was a study done in this Healthy Lifestyle magazine, but it was basically saying that most marriages would be saved for an extra $300 to $400 per month. So I don't know if you're in a relationship now or if you've ever had an argument about money, but just think about how often it happens, why you go to your job the very next day, or why you potentially do things in order to make money, which might not necessarily serve you. So if there is a solution where you can get healthy and help more people and generate a secondary source of income for doing so, or at very least eat for free, then that's just an option there for you. So it's just good to know that. So I guess in tune with that, we've got Mandy, who's she's a mum. She lives in Margaret River, so she's probably in, again, one of the hippie capitals of the world. They've got the best soil, the best air. They've got the beautiful waves down there in Margaret River. And I guess she's just going to share how she incorporated this program into her life, and then also how she's gone on to share it with other people. So, Mandy, if you're there.
I am. Thank you, Rory. Hi, everyone. I guess my journey sort of started, similar to everyone else's. I was looking for something to improve my health. So I started using the products and had great results and felt amazing, which then leads you to, well, for me, it was just really, really natural and organic to tell anyone and everyone, family, friends, or whoever was willing to listen, I guess, what my experience was. So, you know, before long, I sort of found that there was little payments going into my account from literally just doing that, by sharing it with people who were looking for the same thing that I had achieved, you know, were wanting that health improvement. So I was sort of getting my products paid for every month, and it was like, wow, okay, well, if I'd gone to Coles, or if I'd gone to the health food store or anything like that, you know, I don't think that they would have given me a rebate. So it was a really big bonus that, you know, it was obviously an opportunity for me, but realised that is given to everyone. So, yeah, so that was awesome. It was probably after my first sort of big company event that I went to that I sort of really understood what this company was about and what they were trying to achieve with that mission statement that you were just sort of talking about then, Roz. And it really built my belief and eliminated all of those doubts, I guess, of, you know, where this company was at and what they were trying to do. So, yeah, that was a huge thing for me. And from there, I came home and really started to, I guess, address where I wanted to go with this and how I could contribute and help and see more people get that health benefit and build a little side income for myself on the side as well. So I'm a busy mum of 2 teenage girls. We have our own business. I work, run a family. You know, like it's a crazy life, but it really can be, you know, like they say, it really can be built into those pockets of your life, if, you know, and whether that is to the degree of just getting your products paid for, or building something that is enabling me now to resign from my 10 years job of being a travel agent. So yeah, that's exciting that it's enabled me to do that, and I can then put that into spending more time with my family. So the big thing I sort of think about now is, you know, if that hadn't been shared with me, like if my gorgeous girlfriend didn't tell me about these products, then, you know, where would I be at? How would I still be feeling? So whenever someone has that thought of not wanting to share it anymore, you know, in my team or in my friends or whatever, then I really get them to really think about that and yeah, think about how they can help someone else simply by feeling better, because, you know, if they hadn't had that opportunity, how would they feel now? So yeah, I can't speak more highly of it. Love it.
Awesome, Mandy.
Thank you, Rory.
I think you hit the nail on the head when you said, like, you know, we all go and buy health products, but when would the health store actually go, well, thanks for bringing a friend in, I'm going to give you 20% off or 40% off, let alone get your products paid for. So I guess when I first started, I was a bit skeptical about the business model because I didn't know much about it. You know, the same things, I was like pyramid schemes. I didn't really know anything about the industry. But when I saw that it worked in this way, and it was just word of mouth, and the company was giving 50% of their revenue back to the people just because they could, it sounded a bit too good to be true. But I guess, you know, people like yourself, the real examples, and I've watched you over the last year or year and a half, and to be able to retire from like your work and have more time for your family, like that's something that I reckon resonates with so many people. So for whoever out there is listening to this, you know, just know that you can, and it is a journey. Most people, 80% of people just use the products, and then 20% of people actually believe they can share it, or they stop keeping it as a best kept secret and get out there and share it with other people. And if you create attraction, it's all based around permission. You don't have to sell anything. You have to be that pushy salesman. And I know people get excited sometimes, but just know that it's coming from the right place for the most part. Now, I can see Zoe's back on. So whilst you're there, Zoe, do you want to unmute and just share your story?
Right. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, gotcha.
There's going to be lots of noise because I'm on the side of the road. I've been to an Isogenics event tonight that I've ducked out to talk to. So hi guys, thanks for bearing with me.
Thanks.
My weight loss story is probably, as Rory said, I'm sorry, it's really loud. Sorry, it's so loud. I'm on like the side of this highway. I lost about 5 kilos with Isogenics, and I didn't know that I had that much weight to lose. I thought I had maybe 2 kilos to lose. I'd always sort of done lots of different programs and always was fit and active and stuff, but could never budge those last few. And with Isogenics, that was the first time that I got rid of my cellulite. And I think a lot of it was because I was motivated, because I had energy I'd never had before. I wasn't waking up sluggish. Like a 25-year-old shouldn't wake up exhausted every day. And I didn't sleep well before it either. So I think it was a combination of different things, that I had the energy that I could do proper workouts. My body was being stripped of all those toxins that it never had before. And yeah, so my experience is one that I wasn't expecting at all. I was a massive skeptic. I was a health professional pharmacist. So I have nothing but great words for this program.
Thanks for that, Zoe, and thanks for popping out. I know it was hard to get you on board, but
no, I loved it. I'm so sorry, guys.
No, it's all good. I think we just carried on anyway. So I guess the key is that people get a wide experience of people who have done it. And like I said, Zoe's a TV presenter, so she's very busy. She travels a lot, and she's in the space now where she's also helping a lot of people. So thanks for that, Zoe. Now, I guess just to finish off with, we're just going to just touch on, not only what you've probably got what's in it for you. There's probably a couple of things that have jumped out. Maybe there's a couple of questions that need to be answered, which you can ask whoever got you on here. But just start to think about who you can help. Who's like Zoe? Who's like Mandy? Who's like Aaron? Who's like Deb? Who's like me? Who are people in your life that you think that you could help? And the aim of Bfree is to really impact as many people as we can with this simple tool. And the cool thing is that all of us can have peer-to-peer impact. And this is where, for me as a health professional, I was like, I could sit in a clinic and treat, 40, 50 odd people a week, which were still coming back 5 years later. I could really empower people to do this program and then help more people and then take them into an active and healthy lifestyle. And I've seen better outcomes with this one simple tool than a lot of the stuff I was doing in a clinic, which is the reason why I'm here doing this with you today. So just have a think about those people you can help at the moment. And I guess one thing I just wanted to share with you is if you do want to know how to get your program paid for, it's really quite simple. So up in the top left-hand corner is you. So you start the program. We talked about it before. Most people spend about $3,500 in their health each year. To start the program is only $600. And it covers about 2/3 of your food for the first month. And not only that, but everything you're spending on coffee. I was buying 3 coffees a day. I was buying, muffins, lunch, things like that. I was probably spending about $20 a day. It works out to be about $16, $17. And it replaces everything else. And it's a system where everything talks to each other. And also the big thing is that there's no risk, because worst case scenario, you can just send it back at the end of 30 days. And they do that because they back their program in. So there's really no risk to give it a crack. But then you can also share it with a couple of people. And I'd recommend starting with 2 people, not even just to get your program paid for or get a rebate, but because your compliance goes up by 80% if you do it with 2 friends. And my 2 buddies, when I was trying to back out of my cleanse day in the second week, Glenn was powering along. So we sort of egged each other on and we got through it. And that's probably the hardest part, is that first 2 to 3 weeks. We've got the online community and all the support and health professionals like Zoe and myself and other people in the group. But sometimes doing it with people is good as well. So we're going to have another webinar in a couple of weeks that you can get them on too, but just something to know about. And just know that if you do share with 2 people, you can get between $150 and $370 back off the cost of your program. So all of a sudden your $600 program is only a couple $100. And then I guess the key thing as well is they probably want to eat for free as well. And if they don't, that's cool. Just let them have a great product experience. But if they do want to share it, and this is what happens. Someone like Zoe loses 5 kilos, Deb loses 5 or 10. People notice and they start asking anyway. And then all you have to do is, plug them into a webinar like this or get them on a phone call with somebody and they'll be able to help you sort of talk the ins and outs of the program. And if you help the 2 people that you got started get their products paid for, the company goes, thank you, here's $100 for helping that person, here's $100 for helping that person. So we're up to about $570 for doing you +2, them +2. And if you do that all within the first 30 days, they give you a $50 bonus for doing the you +2 and a $250 bonus for doing them +2. So you actually get $820 by helping 2 people help 2 people. And there's nothing else I've seen where they do that. Like, we don't go to cafes. They don't give us money back for bringing other people there. It's just been put in to help you. And I guess a lot of people see that and they go, well, do you know what? I want to help more people with this program. So you can simply use the products, recommend them. You don't have to push it. Just get your result, let people get attracted to what you're doing. Then you can identify people you want to work with or people you want to be around, like what we've done with the Bfree community. And then you can start to build, friends, family, community. Then like we have, we spread to, Sydney and Melbourne and now launched in Indonesia. And it's only launched in 14 out of 88 countries. So for anyone that's thinking of buying shares or something like that, imagine an asset that you could pay $600 for. You eat your overheads, you get healthy, you then get your products paid for, you then help more people get healthy, and you get all those messages and all that type of stuff. But then it becomes something that builds over time, and you can actually develop a secondary source of income on the side of what you're doing. So hopefully we've given you a really good scope of what this is about. And I guess to finish off with, if you are in the mindset of getting involved in the Bfree community, we're in the business of helping people get better and be well with this tool. So if you change your focus from making money to serving more people, you'll eventually make the money come in. And I guess Mandy's a great example of that. So that's it for me, guys. Thanks for taking the time. I know we had a couple of issues with the Wi-Fi and getting people on board, but hopefully you've got enough out of that where it answers a lot of your questions. And if you have any more questions, feel free to plug into the chat box, which is on here, and I'll stick around for 5 minutes, or have a chat with the person that invited you on tonight. And just know that if there's anyone else that you're interested in sharing this with, we're going to do another one in 2 weeks' time, and we'll have some more health professionals and more everyday people as well to share their stories, and you might be one of the people that shares it in the next 30 days. So that's it from me, guys. Thanks again for joining us. I really appreciate it. I know it's late in a lot of places, but keep in touch and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Rory.
Thanks, guys.